What if the world's largest science experiment accidentally broke reality? Because in 2008, CERN fired up a machine that smashes particles at nearly the speed of light. And ever since then, millions of people have been remembering things that apparently never happened. I'm not talking about forgetting where your keys are at. I'm talking about specific, detailed memories shared by thousands of strangers who have never met. Memories of events, names, and images that don't exist in any historical record. To understand how we got here, you need to know what CERN actually built and what they were trying to do with it. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get back into the video. September 10th, 2008, beneath the border of Switzerland and France, buried hundreds of feet underground, scientists powered on the Large Hadron Collider for the first time. This machine is a monster, a 17-mile circular tunnel designed to accelerate particles to 99.999% the speed of light and crash them into each other. But why did they do this? They wanted to recreate the conditions that existed just moments after the supposed Big Bang, to find something called the Higgs boson, nicknamed the God's particle, which gives other particles their mass and helps peer into the fundamental building blocks of existence itself. The collider smashes around 100 billion protons together at a rate of 40 million collisions per second. Every time those protons collide, they shatter into smaller pieces called quarks, releasing energy and creating conditions that haven't existed naturally for as long as scientists think the universe was born. In theory, it's the most ambitious physics experiment in human history. But something strange started happening that science hasn't fully explained. 1 year after the LHC powered on, a woman named Fiona Broome was at a convention chatting with other guests when she casually mentioned remembering Nelson Mandela dying in prison during the 1980s. She recalled news coverage, a funeral. The whole thing felt vivid and real for her. Except Mandela didn't die in the 80s. He was released from prison in 1990. He became president of South Africa and he lived until 2013. Here's the twist. Fiona wasn't alone. Thousands of people came forward with the same memory, same decade, same funeral, same coverage, same details about an event that never happened. She called it the Mandela effect. And once people started looking, they found it everywhere. The Berenstain Bears? Massive numbers of people insisted it was spelled Berenstein. The Monopoly Man's monocle? He's never had one, but millions picture it clearly. Luke, I am your father. The actual Star Wars line is "No, I am your father." Curious George's tail doesn't exist, never did, yet people remember him swinging by it. You could dismiss each one individually. Brains misremember things all the time. We fill gaps, we get influenced by what others say. That's the textbook explanation. But when thousands of unconnected people share the exact same false memory with the exact same wrong details, you start to wonder if something else is going on. And that's where CERN comes back into the picture. Here's the theory that caught fire online, and I want you to hear me out before you judge it. Every particle in the universe is connected to other particles through something called quantum entanglement. When two particles are entangled, they stay linked no matter how far they are. Measure one and the other responds instantly, even across galaxies. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance because it freaked him out. Now think about what happens inside the LHC. Billions of particles getting smashed apart, broken into quarks, releasing massive amounts of energy. According to the law of conservation, the energy and matter can't just disappear. It has to go somewhere. Some people believe that CERN destroys particles on that scale. The quantum information attached to them doesn't vanish, it just shifts. It migrates into the nearest parallel timeline. Imagine reality as a quantum field. Now imagine tiny pieces of that field getting knocked loose every time the LHC runs an experiment. Those pieces don't cease to exist. They slide sideways into slightly different versions of the universe. One that's almost identical to ours, but not quite. Our bodies make the transition. Our consciousness doesn't notice. We just wake up in a world where something small has changed. A spelling, a logo, a quote, a memory of an event that never happened. And we can't prove it because in this timeline, it was always this way. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like pure internet conspiracy fuel, but here's why it spread so fast. First, the timing lines up almost perfectly. The Mandela effect as a named phenomenon emerges in 2009, 1 year after the LHC went online. The big spike in reported false memories came around 2012, the same year that CERN announced they discovered the Higgs boson. That discovery required pushing the collider harder than ever before. More collisions, more energy, more potential for whatever this is. Second, there's the symbolism. Right outside of CERN's headquarters stands a statue of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction. The plaque beneath it describes the cosmic dance of creation and destruction. CERN says it's just a gift from India, nothing more than cultural appreciation. But when you're running an experiment that some people think could tear holes in space and time, maybe a destroyer statue at the entrance is a little too much. Just a thought. And third, CERN openly studies concepts that sound like science fiction. Extra dimensions, dark matter, the theoretical creation of microscopic black holes. These aren't fringe ideas, they're published, peer-reviewed research topics. Scientists have written papers about detecting hidden dimensions through high-energy particle collisions. When the official science already sounds that wild, the leap to they accidentally opened a portal doesn't feel unrealistic. But of course, CERN pushes back on all of this. Officially, there's zero evidence that the LHC has caused timeless shifts, dimensional rifts, or reality glitches. The Higgs boson discovery helped explain how particles gain mass. It didn't reboot the universe. Those mini black holes people worry about, if they formed at all, they'd be smaller than atoms and evaporate almost instantly due to Hawking's radiation. They're hardly world-ending. Scientists also point out that cosmic rays hit Earth's atmosphere with similar energy levels all the time. If particle collisions caused reality shifts, we'd have been living in dimensional soup long before CERN existed. The skeptical explanation for the Mandela effect is solid too. Human memory is unreliable. We reconstruct memories every time we access them. Suggestion influences us. Social reinforcement makes shared false memories spread. It's all well-documented psychology. But here's what the skeptics can't fully explain. Why do so many unconnected people share the same wrong details? Not vaguely similar memories, specific identical ones. The same misspelled name, the same non-existent monocle, the same funeral that never aired. This is where things take a philosophical turn. Some researchers have found strange patterns in the equations that describe fundamental physics, structures that resemble error-correcting code. These are the same kind of codes we use in computers to prevent data corruption. It doesn't prove we're living in a simulation, but it's weird enough to make people ask questions. Elon Musk has said it publicly that he thinks that the odds we're in a base reality are basically 1 in a billion. His argument is simple. If technology keeps improving, eventually simulations will be indistinguishable from real life. If that's possible, it's probably already happened countless times, which means statistically, we're almost certainly inside one of those simulations right now. If that's true, then maybe CERN isn't creating glitches. Maybe it's exposing them, poking at the source code hard enough that the seams start to show. So what's really going on? Honestly, nobody knows for sure. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes this so unsettling. Maybe the Mandela effect is just faulty wiring in the human brain. We're pattern-seeking creatures. We fill gaps with assumptions. We absorb information from each other and confuse it with our own memories. Or maybe, when you smash particles together billions of times at near light speed, something happens at the quantum level we don't fully understand. Maybe tiny shifts ripple outward, nudging details across timelines. Maybe consciousness stays anchored while reality slides, leaving us with memories of a world that no longer matches the one we're standing in. We can't prove either explanation definitely. The science says one thing, the shared experiences of millions say something else. And somewhere in between is a 17-mile machine underground, still running experiments, still colliding particles, still probing the edges of what we think we know. The next time you remember something vividly, a name, a scene, a detail you'd swear on, and the world tells you it never existed, you'll have a choice. You can assume your brain glitched, filled a gap, got confused like brains do. Or you can wonder, did something change? Did the universe get quietly patched while I was sleeping? Am I carrying a memory from a version of reality that doesn't exist anymore? Because if CERN really did crack something, even just a little, there'd be no way to know. The evidence wouldn't survive the shift. The only trace would be the strange, nagging feeling that something used to be different. And right now, millions of people have that exact feeling. So tell me, have you ever experienced something that felt like a glitch in the Matrix? Like a memory that didn't match what everyone else remembers? Drop it in the comments because I want to hear your story. And if you're into deep dives that make you question what's actually real, hit the subscribe button because we're just getting started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.